we need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.
This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and Forged Irish Stout. Delighted to be once again joined with Adam Azim. We just finished a nice Christmas lunch here in Covent Garden. How's things, mate? How have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, it was quite nice actually. I couldn't eat to my potential because obviously I've got a fight coming up. But I had a nice fish. For my dessert I had fruit. So yeah, I was right.
Absolutely. We will talk about the fight coming up. Obviously, you're defending the European title against Enock Poulson. Having a camp over Christmas, these sorts of things. How do you sort of enjoy things like that?
To be honest, I enjoy it. I love training. My mindset's always been training first than anything else. I've also come from training as well. I've already trained and came over here, so I'm always keeping it daily. And it's always good to take over as well, like during this time as well. So for me.
We'll talk about Enock Poulson, undefeated. Obviously, I think has a win over Petitjean. Tough test for yourself. You've already faced off against him in Wolverhampton. Excited that this will be sort of the toughest test of your pro career so far.
Yeah, I would. Obviously, it is a tough test, but I feel like I've had tougher tests than that. I feel like Fanyan fight was more harder than Enock Poulson because I was looking at his resume the other day. The only person that he actually fought outside was Frank Petitjean, and everyone else he fought was in Denmark. So he's saying like he's the champion. Obviously, I fought the champion, who's European champion, and done a job on him. But when he fought him, he made it a tough fight. So I like his confidence, but he ain't going to do nothing to me.
Is there an importance in obviously realising the pressures that not the pressures, but understanding sort of you may be in for a tough test, but being confident in your own abilities to show that this guy ain't even going to be on my level?
To be honest, I've always had the mindset that obviously he's not on my level. I know that he ain't on my level, but I'm always preparing for as he's in my way to stopping me to become world champion. That's how I see it. I've always trained hard, as every fight I've seen, they're all good opponents, but if they're going to be stopping my way to become world champion, I've got to do my job. So.
And now you are the European champion, picking up a decent belt. This does come with clout and sort of leverage. How have you sort of enjoyed that so far?
It's been great. A lot of people messaging me, coming up to me, saying, "Oh, you're the European champion now. How does it feel?" I'll be honest, it feels really good, but it's the thing that I've got to keep hold of it. I'm not letting it go. So that belt's staying in Slough.
Do you feel like you sort of look at having momentum with this belt and pushing on when you have something like a European belt as well?
Yeah, 100%. It puts me in all the rankings. It puts me highly in the rankings, and it shows what I can do at the world level one day myself. So hopefully next year, it's going to be beyond European level. It's going to be world level. So
I'm talking about training there. You said you don't mind having camps over Christmas because you're always training. Something that sort of people have always said to you is you almost train too much. Do you feel like there's an importance of being almost married to the game in a sense of being obsessed with boxing? And do you feel like there's sort of a benefit that comes with that?
Yeah, 100%. I'll be honest, if I was married, I'd probably love boxing more than my wife, I ain't gonna lie. But I'm married to the game, I'm married to boxing, so it's always been in my DNA. There's no one day I've walked out and said, "Oh, I hate boxing." I love boxing so much that I watch it 24/7. Even when I'm driving, I've got when I'm parked up watching a bit of boxing because I've got time to do it. Do you know what I mean?
And when you have an environment like training, obviously at the McGuigans gym, where you've got so many boxers there, and the obsession that you have with boxing is reciprocated with your coaches and the people around you, with your brother boxing as well, and I'm sure your dad pushes into you. Is that a nice thing to have, where you sort of have all that reciprocation from the love that you have for boxing?
Yeah, 100%. Everyone in my gym, they're in the world level. I'm in the European level. Hopefully, I want to be in the same stage as all of them, and hopefully, I'll become world champion myself. I've got a lot of inspirations in that gym, and hopefully, I'll become an inspiration for all the youngsters and myself as well.
And that's a big thing that I wanted to talk about. You talked about being inspiration for many people in the gym, and you think about the guys that inspired you. You always talked about sort of Amir Khan being a big inspiration for yourself. And when you see people coming through now, sort of when they might be 11, 12, 13, these sort of names, and we've got Ben Shalom here, but when you talk about them names that when they're 21, 22, like your age, they'll be like, my inspirations were Adam Azim and Hassan Azim and people like that.
Yeah, that's my goal. Inspire the whole generation that are coming up that want to be in my stage as well. Like ambitions to become world champion. Obviously, McGuigan was my ambition when I was growing up, and hopefully, I want to be someone's ambition as well. Like I want to help a lot of kids, get off the street, and help a lot of people, do something in their lives as well. Like, and it's good. Like what my mindset that I want to do in the future is get gyms, all over, my hometown, so people get off the streets.
You talked about the ambition that you've got there, and having that ambition that mentally, not that you feel like a world champion already, but you have dreams to have that. Your dreams aren't just sort of get European belt, happy, settle there. A European belt for someone would be, their world title, but for you, that's simply just a stepping stone. Do you feel like having that drive and that ambition to always want to achieve more and believing in it is so beneficial to you?
It is true though. Like obviously, I don't want to keep dreaming about the belt. I want to have the belt. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people they dream about the belt, but they don't work to the belt. Do you know what I mean? You can't get given the world title in your plate. You got to work towards it. Like with me, I've got to keep working hard and put everything into it. Look at Chris Williams-Smith, like put everything into his boxing and craft, and he's become world champion. So.
Absolutely, and one thing I did want to talk about is we're talking about the togetherness of your team, and being at McGuigan gym, and you could tell there's such a good connection between yourself and Shane. Boxing King Media released a great video. I think it was before the European title fight or for the Fanian fight, and it was obviously the whole team just before you go out. And I'm sure it's a thing that you do all the time, where you're sort of praying, and it isn't just yourself and others. It's Shane, Barry, everyone in the team, and where you see everyone involved in that, even whether they are religious or not, involving and partaking in the praying, how sort of inspirational do you find that for yourself?
It means a lot. Like we're all a family. It shows how close we all are together as well. So we always like have so much love for each other, and that stable is just it's a family home. So
definitely, absolutely, Adam. And when you look back at 2023 now, dealing with injuries and having that frustration, how's that felt for you when you look back now? Even though you've picked up a European belt, would you sort of say it's a little bit mixed for you?
To be honest, I've had probably a good year, and obviously did the distance twice, but due to my hand injury, I injured in one fight, and then obviously I took a bit of while off as well, and then got back into a fight. It's good that I went rounds, because as a fighter you're going to develop and go rounds. You need the rounds as well. So, and for me, I thought I bagged off the year with a knockout, and obviously done my celebration flip as well, and won the European title at such a young age. It shows what I can do.
And when you look forward to 2024 now, I'm sure when we talk about if we have this conversation on the 13th of December 2024, we want to be talking about world titles, being in the big rankings, being one off a world title shot. Is that the goal for you?
100%. 2024, hopefully I'll become world champion, or even start of 2025. We'll see what comes up.
Adam, I just want to say thank you for taking time to speak to me. Always good to catch up with you, and definitely take care and enjoy Christmas, and best of luck for February the 3rd, mate. Thank you. Cheers, man.